All right, welcome back, everybody. So this is going to be the March 2025 recap. Yeah, it's pretty much end of week. I'm not going to count next week 31. But pretty much I don't really trade a lot the beginning of the month just for personal reasons. I had something happen in my personal life, so I like to stay out of the markets when that happens. Right? I don't want to trade based off emotion and blow the first challenge. Let's see the dashboard for the month. You guys can see right from basically from now until last week, I don't really want to do anything at all trading related. So what I did, I actually back tested gold and GJ for the 5 minutes here. We got some data. So overall, it does look pretty profitable on both the New York and Asia session for January and February, even March, right? If you look at it, I think it's crazy, bro. Gold is crazy. 17. If we did picture perfect, pip by pip, this is like 25%, and Asia would roughly give 16 plus 8, 24, right? So 24, 25%. If I did take these trades throughout the whole year, would have been insane, right? But in reality, that's not the case. So I'll be showing off the trades that I did take for the month here. And so you guys can see on the 24th, we actually had a green day, followed by 2 lost trades, followed by a big win, and then just today we did take another loss for the end of the month. But we are now at 49,000. We started pretty weak. We had gone into drawdown into 48. Now we're back to 49, which is really, really good, right? Try to get back into break even, and then we can start hitting that profit target. But yeah, let's take a look at the trade so you guys can see here. And March, I would say there's a lot of psychology that I still have to develop for sure. But the first trade over here was with gold on the 5 minutes. So it was March 23. So that was a Sunday market open. Yeah, 7:55. So we do have our basic model, right? Supply and demand with liquidity. So what I saw was we had the fake liquidity here, right? It showed that reaction, but then we bounced all the way down to our zone. So when that hits, I'm good, right? I take my entry, perfect. It actually hit it in 2 candles, which is insane. Now with the 5 minutes, it's not really important to follow the high time frame just because you're in and out, right? So there was another trade here. I don't want to over trade personally, but I could have taken this trade if if my strategy was based on scalping in multiple trades. So this is a scalping strategy, but I usually just take 1 to 2 positions max if I'm confident, or it goes with a high time frame, just for a higher win rate. But this actually would have hit TP as well for 1 to 2, 1.5, doesn't matter. Right? But then this one, I think this was same time. My sessions are from 7 to 10 p.m. So it did go into our session. It consolidated, but it gave a valid entry again, right? So same model. We had this, but this one was bigger, right? So this liquidity, look, we faked it out, and then we went down into the zone right over here. So this is valid 1.5. I didn't like how it was not great for the price action. So once it hit here actually, and I saw this big one, I just placed it for a BE. Right, so I just got it at a BE right over here, and I don't want to deal with a headache. And then pass forward. This trade was on March 24, so the following day. But yeah, same thing, right? Pretty similar as all the setups here for their model. So we have a supply zone here, and we have fake liquidity here. So we sweep the liquidity. So we actually tap deep, wait for the opposing candle, which is this one right over here. And because there's a 200 pip distance, I only targeted a 1 to 5 for a quick one. Right? I could honestly. I'm just gonna see, maybe I can just target 2 all the time. I want to see if it's gonna be fixed. But we do follow a set stop loss rule here. Shout out to RD for making these. Next trade right here. This trade I actually did not like. This wasn't an A+ setup according to my journal right over here. March 25, yeah, B. Why? If you guys see here, I do believe I did FOMO into this trade because I saw the good reaction right over here. It didn't really give me a valid setup, if I have to be honest. So this was a no, right? Like, this is a terrible trade overall. Why? Because I did not back test these types, and looking back, there's not really fake liquidity. I mean, you could say this and then right over here, but it didn't really break this structure here. Okay, pass forward. This one here was for March 25, 8:05 p.m. So this one is a little bigger time frame. We had this huge move again, right? You know, we had liquidity here. We had our demand zone right over here. That's we've reacted off weekly. So then I expected to bounce back, and boom, this one actually was really good in and out. Due to spread, I wanted to have a position of 250, right? So we would have potentially made like 1K off of this trade. However, I only got a position of 160-ish, but still, that was the really good day on this one, right? We made $1,000 that day. And then I think this one as well. This one, pretty clean price action, I would say. We had a ideal setup here, fake liquidity, get the reactions, boom, we fake out a candle here, then we go straight to a zone hit TP. Okay. I believe the last one was actually today, guys, and this insane, right? Unfortunately, I did get stopped out, but there was news at 7:30 p.m. I opened the trade 15-20 minutes before, so I should have expected the volatility there. I'm not gonna take trades in the future when there's news that's upcoming, right? And then for GJ, we had break even. We talked about, let's see, GJ right over here. So GJ, I don't think I took this trade actually. This was one of my back tests, so I'm gonna ignore that one. Wait, did I? Let's see. Go March 25, March 24. Oh, I did actually take this trade. Okay. So let's see why this lost here. Where was the zone? This one? Oh, definitely this one. Yeah, so if you look into GJ, this actually looked like a horrible trade. I'm not sure why I did take this. I think I did put this as B. Yeah, B for sure. Okay. So B. So this is technically, if you look at the higher time frame, it is valid, right? Because you have the structure here, but the liquidity distance is actually too far, so it actually would have been an invalid trade, right? I think this was another case of FOMO on my end because I saw that we reacted pretty strongly. So then I took this position. We actually went all the way up here. I was like, oh, wow. So like in my head, we hit a 1-to-1, and you know, I just held the position, let go, boom, straight to a loss. But no, I shouldn't be taking trades like this in the future. And then was this the same day? Yeah, this was the same day, but instead of New York session, it was on Asia session. And Asia, if you guys can see, so this setup better than before, right? We got our structure here, we got the liquidity people right over here. So this is the second liquidity zone, you know, tap, boom, whatever. All right, but we got the deeper zone here. So this, I actually did not feel confident at this trade at all, because you guys can see, right? We had a really late entry right over here. So what I did was I entered the trade, immediately started going down, and then it went up. So after it hit this spike right over here, I was like, okay, I'm not confident with the trade, because in backtesting usually it's 2 to 3 candles and it should just move into the direction, right? But for this, as you guys can see, it's consolidating, right? So I just placed a stop at break even. I just don't want to deal with the hassle. If I did hold it though, right, hindsight, we would have won the trade, but I'm not comfy with the psych, so ignore that. And then next day, next New York session right on the dot at 7 a.m. So this right here is beautiful setup. Again, we had the liquidity here, right, that we fake. Look, see the reaction we tap. A lot of people would probably have limit orders here, so this is why I use this strategy. A lot of people would have limit orders here. They probably have a stop loss just right below the candle, and then they target whatever they want, right? But for this one, right over here, we did manage to get a 2 RR return. And as you guys can see, I mean, we could have potentially held longer to a 5, but in back testing, with the strategy, just want to do in and out, right? Because we're trading 5 minutes, we're not trading like 30 minutes or the big time frame. And in the next trade, actually, that's pretty much it for the month. I wasn't presented any ideas yesterday and today for these. But overall, you know, we're ending the month, though. We didn't trade for the first 3 weeks, we only traded for the last week. Again, just because I had some things going on in the personal life. But we are, you know, for the month, we're up, what, 1,192, which is pretty good. And yeah, we'll continue. We'll see how that works here. We're still on phase 1, but we still haven't blown the account, and this is my first ever challenge. So I'm not looking to rush. I'm just looking to get good habits. And once all that forms, you know, we'll try to scale up the accounts. But yeah, I'll give you guys an update for next month. Peace.